When he wants to actually start, just give me a cue, and we'll just go with it. I'll just kind of keep it here in the middle, or let me go to you. I've done this before. It's possible. It's not fun. Gets back, and the top team of the conference looks to get a little revenge on the squad that knocked them out of the postseason last year. It's the 7-6 Howard Bison facing the 2-10 Florida A&M Rattlers. Hi everyone, from Bird Gymnasium, I'm Ryan Pierce. With me is Akira Carter, and this is the conference season opener for Howard, who had the best non-conference performance in the MEAC. They went 7-6. And Akira, the story for them is offense, top scoring team of the conference.
I would like to see Howard capitalize on that scoring. They force their opponents to average 20 turnovers a game. So if they're able to do that, they can get out in transition and have those easy opportunities to score and capitalize on that scoring.
That's such a good point. In Florida A&M, they've kind of struggled with ball control. They have the propensity to turn the ball over, and it's the reason why they've hit a skid. They've lost their last 4. They're 0-6 on the road. Young team trying to get things going today.
Well, they have 11 newcomers, and as a coach, you have to take that where you get it. But people like to say conference is a new slate, 0-0, and it's time for them to come out, just play hard.
Yeah, good point there, the 11 newcomers. And their top 4 scorers are newcomers as well. The Rattlers defeated the Bison by 5 points in the first round of the MEAC tournament last year. You know that will be on their minds today in D.C. We'll get things started in just a second. Let's go ahead and go down to the floor for the Howard starting 5.
From Washington, D.C., wearing the number 4, Ayana Williams. From the Bronx, New York, wearing the number 21, Star Fitzgerald Greer. Sun is down, freezing cold. From Newark, New Jersey, wearing the number 23, Jayla. From Duncanville, Texas, wearing number 32, Chrisland Hall. And from Freeport, New York, wearing number 5, Sarah Edmond. Bison, I led by head coach Todd Drake, assistant coach Donnie Stitt, Memoria Holmes, and Ryan Davis.
So you heard the starting 5 for the Howard Bison. Let's run them down real quick. Ayana Williams is the point guard. Their leading scorer, Sarah Edmond, is the off guard, leading the team 16.8 points per game. That's 3rd in the MEAC. In the post, you got Chrislyn Marsh, their top rebounder, Jayla Thornton, the other off guard, and then Tariah Johnson is playing that combo guard forward position. For the Rattlers, they're led by Candace Williams, the graduate player at the point. Damani Royal is a post player. Taylor Darks, Jasmine Baloo, and then their top scorer, freshman out of D.C., Maya Moy, making her return to her home community today. To start this conference season, Howard has the basketball first in their home whites. The runner is missed off the back rim. Ayana Williams getting up an early shot, and here comes Florida A&M on the other way. A quick miss from Moye, their leading scorer. Howard likes to push the pace, Akira, and we're seeing that already, trying to play aggressive.
They're trying to get out in transition really quickly, but they're also pushing the pace while running their offense in the half court. I think that will rattle the Rattlers a little bit in this game if they can, get some points to fall in this first quarter.
A quick foul is called on Howard. It's on Edmond. Of course, Sarah Edmond, such a great player. Second in assists in the MEAC, third in points. The junior out of Freeport, New York. And an interesting point, both these teams very young. Howard does not have a senior on the roster, yet they're playing well, playing like a veteran team. They've not their top team in terms of record of the conference.
Well, Ty Grace, Coach Ty Grace, she has a good problem to have. Edmond actually averages 19 points on this home court, so you can see her heat up a little bit later on as the game flows.
A couple misses early for Howard, off to an 0-for-3 start. One of the better shooting teams in the conference. You have Howard, the number one scoring team, one of only two teams averaging over 70 points, one of only 5 over 60. Florida A&M, they like to play with a slower pace. They have the lowest scoring offense in the conference, and there's a big point we talked about in the pregame. The defense from Howard, they like to force turnovers, but then the quick steal by the Rattlers, saving it out to Moye. Her jump shot is missed. She's 0 for 2. Rebound falls in the hands of Baloo, and she lays it in.
That was just a tough turnover right there. You're on the ground. You're trying to get it out. They have to do a good job of protecting the ball when they get those turnovers in the early going on the Rattlers.
A quick lead for the Rattlers. Couple early field goals. Howard trying to get into rhythm, and they do with that three. That's a huge shot knocked down by Ayana Williams.
That's a three that they really needed. You see one go in, and then they're going to start feeling good after that.
Yeah, Ayana Williams, kind of a rare three for her this year. Only shooting 15% from downtown. That one was from deep. Another turnover for the Bison. As Kirsten Moore will check in. Kirsten Moore, the 5'9" sophomore out of Mount Vernon, averaging just under 5 a game. 4-3 early lead for Florida A&M, the first conference game for both these teams. And a 5-second violation, and the Bison will take over. Monty Bryant also in playing with that protective face mask. Edmond, the team's leading scorer, goes left wing. Another 3-ball attempt. This one's good from Jayla Thornton. She knocks down the triple. She's top 5 of the conference in three-point shooting percentage.
And like I said, you see that first one go in, you're not hesitant to let that second one fly, especially on your home court.
And the Bison, much better shooting team here at Byrd Gymnasium than on the road. Thinking about the three is Darks, sophomore out of Cincinnati. Ball goes baseline, and it looks like Moya stepped on the baseline. Another turnover. That's the 4th already for the visitors, Florida A&M. Bison so good at putting pressure on opposing offenses. Have a +2 turnover margin. Almost lost it there. The kick out goes to Thornton. Already 1-3. Back to Bryant against a 2-3. Wide open right wing. Williams has 2 threes already.
If you're the coach for Florida A&M, you might want to get your team to pressure up a little bit now. Howard is settling in, starting to feel comfortable from long range.
Ayana Williams was only shooting 15% from the three-point line in non-conference season. Already 2 triples. A 9-0 run for Howard after getting down 4-0. Foul line jumper over Bryant is canned. A nice look there from Taylor Darks. Darks only averaging about 3 points per game. Kind of that fourth or fifth scoring option on a team that really has three predominant scores. As Tykira brought up in the pregame, 11 new players this year for the visitors. Florida A&M. Ball goes down to Bryant. Shots waved off and a travel. Looked like the right call.
No, I like this pressure by Howard, slowing them down and not letting them get anything comfortable and easy. Even when she got free on that last jump shot at the elbow, it took some power and some she had to do it.
The Bison, as there's another turnover, the Bison this year have been a very good first half team. They're outscoring their opponents by about 2 points per game. They have a very slim positive scoring margin. Both teams shown full court press. They like to play with tempo. Williams already a couple of threes. Over to Edmond. Edmond tries to create some space against a smaller Moye. Now back to Williams. 15 to shoot. Open jumper from about 17 is off as Moore fired her first look. Nice save by Williams. Moore, easy pass to the rim. Missed it though. And it's pulled down by Florida A&M. Quickly pushing on the other end. Moye, hop, skip, and a bucket. Maya Moye, the 5'6" freshman from D.C., once scored 50 points in a high school game for Anacostia. That was in the DCIA championship game. Bryant the rebound, creating space. The bounce, left block, but a foul. And Kristen Moore is going to go to the free throw line. Tykira, it feels like both teams, after kind of a helter-skelter start, have calmed down a little bit and are finding their pace.
I feel like they're definitely finding their pace and are not rushing as much. Howard is getting those open shots and confidently shooting them, as well as Florida A&M. They're getting out in transition, and although they're not capitalizing on all their shots, you can see that their comfort is setting in.
Moore ribbing out the first free throw, shooting 76% from the free throw line. Kirsten Moore, the 5'9" sophomore off the bench. Reliable bench score. Shooting 44% from the field from home. That's always nice when you have a player off the bench you can rely on from outside. Violation on Howard, that's a rarity. So Moore is denied her second free throw. 5:12 left to go. Florida A&M got off to a quick start. A 4-0 lead. Howard on a 9-4 run. It's a little weave. Handoff to Antoine Deja, who checked in. The ball goes out of bounds. Another turnover for Florida A&M, and that's where the Bison start. They like to force turnovers and try to create offense off them.
And that's also the Achilles heel for FAMU in their non-conference slate. They average 23 turnovers a game.
Antoine Deja getting some minutes and picking up the steal. On the other end, the driving layup is contested well by Bryant. Howard pulls down the rebound. And then a whistle and a foul is called about 20 feet away from the bucket. And the first media timeout so far. 9-8. Howard on top behind a couple of threes from Ayanna Williams with 4:40 left to go in this first quarter.
Today, with solid preparation to meet the demands of an ever-evolving global society. Howard University offers students more than 120 areas of study, leading to undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees. The Howard experience fosters creativity and allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. A journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience. Here, we educate tomorrow's leaders today. The Howard Experience allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. a journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience.
Museum on the campus of Howard University. Tykira Howard seems a little bit off right now, just shooting 33%, but thankfully those buckets happen threes.
Yep, threes will accumulate, and I think they'll start, as they're doing right now, getting it down to the post. If they can do that, and like I said earlier on, get some steals and get in transition, they'll start feeling good and start heating up.
Looking for Bryant down low, leads to a jump ball. The 2-3 zone has thrown off Howard just a little bit, as the Rattlers looking to push against the Bison press. Morgan Mitchell, the sophomore, 5'2", smallest player on either team. At the point, motion offense for FAMU, and a turnover. Bryant the steal. Howard averaging 9 of those per game.
And I like how out of that timeout, Ty Grace puts her team in a zone of their own because she sees that FAMU is trying to get out and run, and they're not particularly shooting well from the three.
Both teams a little bit off so far. You'll see that. It's actually the first game off of the holiday break for both teams. First game in February for both. Each having a little break before the conference season. Ty Grace really building a strong program here for Howard. Not a senior on the roster. They're in first place in the conference. In her 4th year, she coached them through that great 2017 season as that three is drilled. The 4th one for Howard so far. Jayla Thornton knocking that one down, her second. And it's rattled in on the other end by Antoine Deja. Talking about Ty Grace, it seems like she's starting to really build now in her 4th year, some time to get some recruits, some players, building a solid program.
And you have to do that. You know, it's still early on in her career here at Howard, and she's getting some players who are solid. And in this conference, the players are going to stick around. You're not going to lose too much. Without having a senior on the team, this team can have a good run at making it to the MEAC finals this season, and as well as going far.
They have the best record in conference right now, 7-6 in non-conference play, of course. Today is when things really start to matter. Both these teams aiming to get off to a good start. Howard behind 4 3-pointers, lead 12-10. A running layup is missed. Bryant had it. It was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Damani Royal, the talented junior for FAMU. As Shakira Cook, the junior from Savannah, Georgia, big post player, 6'3", valuable rebounder off the bench, is in for the visitors, and a travel is called in the backcourt. Both these teams a little sloppy right now. I would say at least 5 or 6 turnovers for both.
And those are the turnovers that you don't want, the unforced ones off of errors, such as just picking up your wrong pivot foot or something like that. In order to get into a good lead on this game, Howard will have to definitely eliminate those turnovers.
Both teams have 5. As that shot is missed, rebound tap. Bryant with the active hands. It falls into the lap of Marsh. Stopping from the free throw line, Johnson. 3 from the corner. That is Jayla Thornton again. She's 3rd of the conference in 3-point field goal percentage, and she has 3 threes in this first half. Johnson the assist and another jump ball. This one will go to Howard. A little more intensity from that Howard bench. A quick start for Jayla Thornton, shooting 38% from deep. She was 3 for 11 against North Carolina. A game in which Howard played pretty well. They were only trailing UNC by 7 points at the half. They've come off strong here, already 5 threes. Going away from the pick is Williams, up and under with the left hand. Difficult shot. And it will belong to FAMU.
On that one, I would like Williams to kick that ball to Thornton. She's feeling hot. Keep getting it to the hot hand.
Williams, a really solid point guard. And she's the kind of point guard I think you want to have. A good defensive player, reliable free throw shooter, and she will find her teammates averaging about 4 assists per game. It will go to the Bison off the tip. Is this the kind of game we expected, you think, from Howard, or are they shooting more from the outside than you thought they might have?
I think they are because they're a team that likes to get out and run, but they're being very confident in that shooting. So until they stop it, you keep letting that thing fly.
If it keeps working, don't fix it. A turnover, though, that's something Howard isn't used to. And drawing the contact on the other end and going to the free throw line is Morgan Mitchell.
And I like the pace by Mitchell. She is all of 5'2", but she's getting it in there and she's drawing that contact. You like to see that from a little guard.
I was watching Mitchell before the game. She's so intense in her pregame workout, working with coaches, doing dribbling drills. A very aggressive player. Both these teams showing off the speed so far. Playing up and down basketball, so it's been fun to watch for this first conference game of the season. Mitchell, one more coming. This is only her 6th free throw of the year. Now 4 for 6 this season. Thornton. Rather, that's Johnson. Dump off in the paint. Nice bouncer to Marsh with the left hand. The freshman getting the bucket. The 6-foot post player, Marsh. Really nice complimentary piece here for Howard as a foul is called on the other end. I think that might be Marsh. When you have a lineup with 3 really good guards, your top 3 scorers are guards, and you got Marsh, who's this rebounding dominant post player down low, just kind of fits in well with this group, I feel like.
And Marsh's very aggressive. She was the MEAC Rookie of the Week December 4th, and, you know, she's just going to keep on building, and it's great to see that out of a young player. That's the type of player that Howard needs in order to continue to build their program.
Howard, not a senior on the roster. The Rattlers have 11 new players this year, so both groups young, both trying to build a solid season with some serious youth, as Morgan Mitchell grabbed the missed 3. Off the curl, ball goes to Dilworth, who just checked in. Keziah Dilworth, number 12. Some miscommunication. It'll stay here, though, with the Rattlers. Coach Grace directing her team from the sideline in year number 4 for Howard. Dilworth misfiring. Weak side, a rebound for the Bison. Johnson, good rebounding guard. Bryant the pick. Johnson to the rim. Will not count. Waved off. Foul as she curled to the bucket.
I like that pace right there. They're getting a little bit away from the three-point shooting, which I like. They're most aggressive and most efficient when they're attacking the basket, so great take to the basket. Right?
Yeah, I agree, Takir. That's what you want. You get up the floor, quick pick, drive to the rim. That's the kind of pace I think the Bison are looking for. Williams already a couple threes, settles for a 10-footer. And Williams now with 8 points. Aiyana Williams only averaging about a bucket a game. Quite the first quarter for her. On the other end is Deja feeding the post with Moye already in foul trouble. Another steal for Howard. And then toss to the sideline. The official says it stays here with the Bison. Deja pleading her case, saying she didn't touch it. That's one of those, if you're a player, you're going to probably disagree no matter what because the ref was behind the play. Now Williams' shot clock is off, 20 seconds left to shoot. High-scoring first quarter. 19-11, Bison on top, actually playing pretty close to their average of 80 as a shot is missed. Rather, 71 points. And a block on the other end by Williams. Couldn't quite save it with 3 seconds left. How about Aiyana Williams, 5-4 and all, getting the block?
And you got to credit her for getting back right there for her teammates.
3 seconds to shoot. Quick inbounds pass. It's tipped, knocked down, and that will be the end of the quarter. So defense, the name of the game for Howard. They clamp down, and they go on a 19-7 run after getting down 4-0 in the first quarter. We'll be right back. Bison on top, 19-11.
Join the Bison Kids Club today. This is the Howard University Athletics Exclusive Group for future Bison, age 2 to 13. Members of the Bison Food Kids Club will have the opportunity to participate in game day activities, receive special Bison themed gifts, free tickets to select games, and access to the Bison Kids Food Kids Club components. Sign up today at Bison.com and Bison.com.
Bison shoot 5 for 8 from the three-point line in that first quarter. They lead 19-11 against the Rattlers from FAMU. Ryan Pierce, Tarika Carter, and this was a first quarter that you were expecting Howard to drive, try to get to the rim, and they were knocking down outside shots.
And that's all about playing at your home court and that comfort and just settling in and knowing that if they're giving you that shot, you have to take it.
Bison, quick turnover. It's one thing I think Coach Grace might want to clean up a little bit. Some uncharacteristic turnovers in that first quarter. That's now 8 for the Bison. Feed to the post and a kick out. Driving, getting amongst the trees, but missing is Balu, who scored in that first quarter. But FAMU gets it back and then a rebound from Marsh.
And credit Howard on their defense. Right now, the leading scorer for the Rattlers only has 2 points, and she's averaging 11.2 a game. So they're not letting her feel comfortable at all.
Yeah, good point, Akira. Maya Moye, only a bucket in that first quarter. A beautiful up and under move. And then on the other end, Williams getting the lay-in. 4 quick points for the Bison, then a steal in the backcourt. That shot's good from Thornton. Jayla Thornton has come to play today. She's got 11 points. A 6-0 run for the Bison to start the quarter, and a timeout is taken by the Rattlers. That's what we're expecting from Howard. They get those quick buckets, and they put pressure in the backcourt and force those turnovers.
And you got to credit Williams. She's a player that's only averaging 6.1 points a game. She's over her average right now in 10 points and we're only in the second quarter right now, so imagine if she keeps this scoring pace up. She could have her a career night.
Yeah, thought of more as like that third or fourth option, more of a passer, a defensive player, and having a really good afternoon so far. And then with Sarah Edmond kind of quiet so far, her partner in crime, Jayla Thornton, the sophomore, looks like she may have taken a big step into this conference season.
Definitely coming out in her conference game and has 3 3-pointers already. And you want to have players on your team who can piggyback when your best player is not necessarily scoring. And right now, with her teammates playing so good and picking up the slack, she doesn't have to do all the work. 6 quick
points for the Bison to start the second quarter, leading 25-11, up by 14. They're the highest scoring team in the conference, averaging a bit over 70 points a game, 72. And they're facing FAMU, a slower tempo team. And the key for the Rattlers was you can't turn the ball over. We want to play at our tempo, but we can't give up possessions. And Howard has forced them into mistakes to start this second quarter. So the Rattlers against the full court press in the backcourt. It's Morgan Mitchell taking the inbounds pass. And Maya Moye, who has been off. Tariah Johnson got the rebound and a foul is called. And it'll be Bison ball. They throw it in, forcing another turnover. Sarah Edmond back in, trying to get her going. Only 2 points so far, their team's leading scorer. And we've brought her up a couple times. It's an incredible advantage when you have a player that's top 5 in points and then top 5 in assists as well in a conference.
And you definitely want to have that player on your team who can do it all and get it done. But also have your teammates out there picking up the slack for you, like I said before, where you're lacking. And she's definitely an all-conference player. I believe she was picked to be preseason second-team All-MEAC. With the numbers that she's putting up right now, if she can keep it up through conference, you might see her on that first team.
Tariah Johnson, 4 quick points in this quarter. Bison on an 8-0 run, and then another steal by Johnson at the top of that 3-2 zone. Johnson left-handed layup. Trying to go coast to coast, and Balu grabs the rebound. On the other end, slowing things up are the Rattlers, down by 16. They got off to a 4-0 start. And since then, 27-7, Howard has taken over. As they're in that 1-3-1. Moya getting to the paint. It was knocked out. It'll stay here. Only 3 seconds left to shoot. Kira Carter, Ryan Pierce. Thanks for watching. First conference game of the year for both these teams. As Jakaya Dilworth, sister of Keziah Dilworth, checks in. Ball knocked away. Marsh touched it last. Just 2 seconds left to shoot. Moya, the shot from the left wing. She got it to go, but the official says she didn't get off in time. That was close. I know Moya's probably frustrated trying to get going, the team's leading scorer.
Credit Howard. They're playing her out very far, forcing her to take deep shots. And when she's attacking the basket, their help defense is one of a kind, stopping her before she can get comfortable.
Looks like the officials are going to review that shot, Moya. Only 2 points. Maya Moya from DC. The only player to start all 12 games, now 13 for the visitors. Let's look at the Howard Bison, Coach Grace. Year number 4 for her with her team, off to a good start, 7-6 in non-conference play. You look at the team, and it feels like their defining characteristic is we want to take defense and turn that into offense.
And as a coach, that's what you want out of your team, to get easy transition baskets and opportunities. The catalyst behind your offense should be your defense, I think. And as a player, that's what I used to base my play off of.
Looking at the upcoming schedule for Howard, Florida A&M today, and then Bethune-Cookman on the 12th. Really is a pretty competitive MEAC conference. A lot of teams expected to kind of be competitive at the top, and it's these early games against teams that are struggling are important for a team like the Bison.
Oh, definitely, and you have to be aware that the Rattlers are a team that don't really do well in conference play until they get to that tournament time. So a win like this is going to be important for the Bisons, especially going forward, knowing that they are capable of getting these MEAC wins and ultimately trying to get to that final goal of winning a championship.
Edmond getting her second field goal. Takira, you mentioned played college basketball. First game of conference here. What's the mindset for these players? Is there something that switches from non-conference to conference play, or do you just treat it like another game?
You want to treat it like another game, but you know that the stakes are a lot higher because these games count for something. Those games in non-conference, you're working to try to work out the kinks, see who plays well together. Now you have an idea that your team is ready and that you're trying to win a championship. So the mindset changes from these games are more important from a win standpoint, and you're standing at the end of the season for tournament play.
Edmond was looking down to Bryant. Now McCants gets her first look from 3. Another offensive rebound. It's Marsh. Howard, a really good offensive rebounding team. They got the second best rebounding margin in conference. They got a fresh 30, 6:35 left to go in the second quarter, 29-11. As the Bison have shut out the Rattlers in the second quarter. Big, strong move from the freshman Marsh. Crystal and Marsh having a nice game, a couple field goals.
And look at that freshman go. That rip and go right there, that looks like a veteran move. I want to see more of that out of Marsh today.
Yeah, fundamentally sound, faced up against the defender, pulled it through and got to the rim. Moye, quiet afternoon so far. She's had Edmond on her for the most part. Double team in the paint, left-handed shot blocked by Bryant. Saved and kicked, last touch by Moye. Amani Bryant, the junior, has been a menace down low. That's already her second block, averaging just 3 points per game. Didn't play against North Carolina. She's been really valuable so far off the bench. She'll check out as Kirsten Moore is back in. Bison up by 20. They've outscored FAMU by a 12-0 score in the second quarter. Passing up on the look is McCants. That's Marsh. Rebound, Moye. See if she can get some things going here. An electric score. That time, though, lost it. Layup, no, but a foul. And McCants will take a trip to the free throw line. Maya Moye, the freshman for the Rattlers. It's a little bit off so far today. Seems like she might be trying to force things a little bit too much. McCants, the junior. Solid backup combo guard. Making the first free throw. 3 for 9 this year from the free throw line.
First attempt is good. She'll take another. Second attempt.
McCants gets them both. And again, Howard out in that full court pressure. As the Rattlers still have yet to figure that one out. Mitchell working against Johnson. Johnson about 9 inches taller than the point guard Mitchell. Now Ballou to the corner. Moye into the teeth of the defense. Got it to go, plus the foul. We'll see if that gets her going.
Basket like that, and seeing the free throw going in will be especially important for Moye to get her going on this afternoon.
Maya Moye, 2-time MEAC Rookie of the Week. Only player to start all 12 games, averaging 11 points per game, the freshman. One of 11 newcomers. And she seems to be the best of the bunch so far for the Rattlers, at least the non-conference play. She's got 5 today. That's the first bucket for the Rattlers in this quarter, nearly halfway through. Lining up the 3 ball is Edmond. She's got 7, 5 in the quarter. Sarah Edmond knocking down about a third of her outside shots. You figured she would get going, and now she is. Gorham. Moye. Nice move, couldn't finish. Another rebound for Marsh, the team's leader in that category. Edmond almost lost it from behind. The pestering defense from Williams. Edmond, another 3. Offensive rebound, Moore with the right hand. This one goes to McCants, and she'll pull it out. The Rattlers are actually the bigger team overall. They have 4 or 5 players over 6 feet tall. Howard, kind of undersized, but a very good rebounding group. Top 30 in the country, actually, in rebounds, as Edmond misses.
Well, their coach was a great rebounder. She accumulated over 1,000 rebounds in her college career, 1,047 boards to be exact. So she probably emphasizes that about her team.
It's amazing how much technique is involved. People think just the big player gets a rebound, but you just saw McCants get a board. And when you got a coach that can teach that technique, it probably makes you a good rebounding team. 36-14. Jumper from the left wing. Weak side, a rebound. Moore again, and another offensive rebound for Howard. And that has been the story in this second quarter. They are cleaning up on the glass. Can the Rattlers do anything different? I mean, is it just a matter of getting in position, you think?
They're turning over the ball just far too much. They can't even get in a flow. So the Rattlers just aren't getting back right now.
Edmond behind the back, finding her teammate Moore with the layup, a highlight reel play. And right now, Howard is rolling. You're seeing their versatility and their balance across the lineup. Good call here by the Rattlers, just trying to slow things down, and then another steal. Again, it's Johnson. Johnson pushing with that strong left hand, blocked from behind, but a foul. A late whistle, but probably the correct call on Candace Williams. Excellent hustle by Williams to get back there, but again, Taraya Johnson, 5'11", has got those long arms, so tough on the top of that. What appears to maybe be an extended man or possibly a 3-2.
It's looking like a 3-2 that they're extending out. They're going from their full court and dropping back into that 3-2, and that is not working in the Rattlers' favor. They can't even get a shot off right now.
Johnson came into the game with 19 steals, already 3 in this first half, as she rattled in the first free throw. Johnson, 5 points, 3 rebounds, handful of steals. The lefty, Twine on the second. Moye trying to feed down low. It goes through the hands of Royal. Now back out. Moye, open look. It's big if it goes. That one will help the confidence. Maya Moye, her first 3. One of the conference leaders in that category. She's got 8. Johnson on the other end looking to push. And it's taken away from behind as the Rattlers try to get some momentum. Williams pulls up from the foul line. Candace Williams, their team's second leading scorer, with a bucket. A quick 5-0 run for Florida A&M. Getting to the rim in drawing contact is the sophomore guard, Kelsey Jacobs. I think this is really the pace now the Rattlers want to play at. You got your 2 top scorers, your guards, Candace Williams and Maya Moye, getting out in transition and getting open looks.
That's the play that they're going to have. That's the pace that they're going to have to play at in order to get back into this game. They're down by a large deficit right now, so you want to see them play at that pace, try to get to the foul line, and ultimately get some easy transition opportunities.
That's the first foul shot put in. 23-point lead for Howard. They were up by 8 to start the quarter. As Taraya Johnson comes off, nice round of applause for her. The second foul shot rolled in by Jacobs. Lead to 24 for the Bison. In the first quarter, they hit 5 threes. In the second, they've been getting to the rim. The feed to the post. And FAMU just can't finish. That was Royal. On the other end, Edmonds sidesteps the defender. She's a bit slow to get up. Looks okay, though. Moya, another open look. That one long. The rebound. Keeps it herself and draws contact. Foul's called on Williams. Much more aggressive play from Maya Moye here in the second quarter. She has 8 of her team's 19. Rattlers shooting just 28% from the field. 44% for Howard. That's around their average. It's a bit better. Averaging 38%. That's second of the conference. Moye second coming up. The DC native gets them both. 43-21. 24-10 in this quarter in favor of the Bison. Make it 26-10 as Sarah Edmond gets to the rim. She's come alive, already almost in double figures. And then another steal for Howard. Edmond eyes the defense from the left wing. That one drilled by Jayla Thornton. She's got 4 of those in the half. Quickly on the other end. Right-handed layup. No, but a foul. And Deja to the free throw line.
Kayla Thornton has really come alive here. I love her confidence and that quick release. She's not even thinking about it at this point. As soon as she's catching the ball, she has it in her shot pocket and she's letting it go.
This is the kind of play you want to. I think at this point in the season, entering conference play, you want your team to have this pace. You want them to be feeling good about their shot, feeling confident. And I think this is how a good conference contending team is. You got your main guard in Edmond who can score, she can create, and then you got Thornton, who's a great outside shooter. Both made as Deja goes 2 for 2. 48-23. Then a turnover in the backcourt. And timeout taken by FAMU. Smart timeout called quickly by head coach LaDon Gibson. We'll take it with them. Come back. It is 48-23. Bison on top by 25.
One of the main reasons I did decide to join the registry is because the lack of African American representation on the registry. It's our responsibility to register. This is something that we can control. You can do this. Think about if it was your child. Think about if it was your sister. Don't let fear be the only reason that you don't save a life.
48-23, Howard Bison on top of the Rattlers from FAMU. Opening game in MEAC play. Both these squads trying to get off to a quick start as it'll stay here with the Rattlers. Ryan Pierce, Akira Carter, here from Burr Gymnasium. Howard known for creating turnovers, known for getting out in transition. We've seen that. Moya trying to get going, gets a bucket. She's got 8 in the quarter. On the other end, Thornton. Now Edmond will slow things down with 1 minute left to go in this first half. Gia Thorpe getting a shot up. Williams trying to save it. Good hustle. Hope she's okay. As the Rattlers will have it.
It seems like the Rattlers have picked up their pressure in these last couple of minutes, and free throws have been the name of the game for them, shooting 86%, and they're over their average. They shoot 62% on the season, so I would keep on trying to get to the free throw line if I were them in this last 40 seconds of the game.
As the Rattlers look to keep up their aggressive play. Moye, little pick and roll. Nicely done for the easy 2. Laid in by Royal. It's a nice combo, Moya and Royal. Bison can't hold for the final shot. 6-second differential. Straight on 3 ball. Miss from Jacobs, her second shot today. As Deja holds up 1 finger, she'll slow it down. Looks like Candace Williams with it. She works on Johnson. Williams scooping layup, but a foul's call. It looked like on the way by. Gia Thorpe reached in. Pretty clean first half for both teams. Only 4 fouls each. Williams has 3 in the first half. Bison and Coach Grace have to be happy with this. Up by 20, heading into the break. Could be 19 here. But a first half after getting down 4-0. Went back on a 17-4 run. Inbounds pass to Johnson. She'll hold it. Good first half for Johnson. Good first half for the Bison. They lead 48-29 at the break. We'll take a break with them and come back. It's 48-29, Bison on top.
Here, we educate tomorrow's leaders today. The Howard Experience allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. A journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience.
The new celebration rules are in place, and Pepsi is all for it. So what's big man Joe Staley doing? He's celebrating a touchdown he didn't score. The sad truth is, the odds of a guy like Joe scoring a real touchdown are the same as 0. But it's fun to dream, isn't it? Even if those dreams are delusional. Hey, there's no I in impossible, Joe. There is, there's 2. Shh.
D-City Smokehouse, a traditional barbecue taste in an unconventional setting. We pride ourselves with smoking the best quality meats daily, with an emphasis on texture, tenderness, and bursts of flavor. Located at 203 Florida Avenue Northwest. Known for our own DC style, D-City Smokehouse strives to serve the best barbecue in town.
What lies within Howard is quite simply a promise that every son, every daughter of this institution will find within its halls a unique and fulfilling educational experience, the Howard Experience. Here, we educate tomorrow's leaders today with solid preparation to meet the demands of an ever-evolving global society. Howard University offers students more than 120 areas of study, leading to undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees. The Howard Experience fosters creativity and allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. A journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience.
Ryan Pierce, Tykeira Carter, welcome you back to Burr Gymnasium, 48-29. The Howard Bison leading in their conference opener. Bison best non-conference record in the MEAC, and they've played well so far. Kind of what were you expecting from them in ways?
What I'm expecting for them is to continue to push the pace in the second half, and what I liked most about them is the confidence that they had releasing the ball from the three-point line. As we said, Kayla Thornton came alive, just letting it fly. And then another player who did an exceptional job in that first half is Ayanna Williams. She's kind of like the glue person on the team, but seeing her come alive and scoring was very big for Howard.
Yeah, Williams and Thornton combined for 5 3-pointers in that first quarter, and then Howard really just rode that momentum in the second. I think that's kind of what took everybody off guard. This Howard team is so good at getting the ball down low. Yes, they can hit from the outside. That's not quite what they're known for, but they really showed off their outside shot in that first half, and hence the 19-point lead. And I think that's a good sign when you're confident, as you said, heading into conference playing that outside shot.
Definitely, and that's something that they need to continue to do, but don't think that the Rattlers won't make adjustments to try to take away from that. But if they start taking away, then they can go to their strong suit, which is finishing around the basket. So right now, Howard is kind of having the best of both worlds when we talk about scoring from the inside and having that outside game. Yeah,
Sarah Edmond got going in that second quarter as well. Came out a little bit sluggish. The team leader in assists, team leader in points, top 5 of the conference in both those categories. But it was good to see her kind of calm down, start looking for a shot in the second, and it paid off.
Definitely, and that's what you're going to get out of your leading scorer, settling into the game at the right times and the right points. As you can see, she doesn't have to force it, and that's what I like about Edmonds. She's letting the game come to her, and she's doing it in a very great manner, hence the lead that Howard has over the Rattlers.
We'll break for 2 minutes and come back and look at some of those first half stats. It's Howard Bison basketball on the Howard Bison Network. Welcome back. Bird Gymnasium, Ryan Pierce, Akira Carter. Follow us, Howard University Athletics at HU Bison Sports on both Twitter, Instagram, Howard University Athletics on Facebook. Put that hashtag Bleed Blue up there. So far, Bison playing well. Good first half. Shot the basketball well. That's what stood out to me. 50% from downtown, 7 for 14, then 45% from the field. And then led in scoring by number 4, or rather, Jayla Thornton. She looked great. And Takira, you talked about her. Had those early threes and just seemed like she was playing with a lot of confidence, along with Ayanna Williams, who had 10 points as well.
And that's what you want to continue to see from her. You like the fact that Jayla Thornton is confident, letting it fly, and she can't let up with that in the second half. If she had 4 3-pointers in the second, I want to see 4 3-pointers by the end of this game. I want her to finish with 8 3-pointers total. That's how confident I want her to continue to be with that shooting.
Top 3 in the conference in three-point percentage. She could pull that off. On the other side, Maya Moye making her return to D.C. Played high school ball here. Very good player. Slow start. Finished in that first half 4 for 9. She's got a lot of talent. She's fun to watch. Number 1 for the Rattlers.
And you saw her become a little bit more aggressive, and that's what she has to do in order to get the Rattlers back in the game. Towards the end of that second quarter, she started going to the free throw line. She's 100% right now with 3 for 3 from the stripe. And she's going to have to continue to do that if her team wants to be in the game. The team goes how she goes.
So Moya's got 12, 6 for Demane Royal. Candace Williams has 4 for Deja Antoine. She had a nice game. Get kind of that 4th or 5th score. A couple points for Jasmine Balu, a bucket for Morgan Mitchell. That's a scoring for the Rattlers. For Howard, 14 for Jayla Thornton, 10 for Ayanna Williams. Sarah Edmonds scored 7, most of those in the second quarter. 4 for Kirsten March, the freshman. 4 for Kirsten Moore. And then 2 for Asia McCants, and then Kelsey Jacobs had a free throw in there as well. 48 points for Howard, a huge first half in terms of buckets. They're averaging 72 per game. That's tops in the conference. They could break 100 if they keep shooting like this. 45% from the field, 50% from downtown. Was it the looks they were getting? Was it just the shots were falling? Or was it maybe a combination of the two?
Definitely a combination of the two. They were, first of all, getting the shots that they wanted in that offense. They were kicking to the open person, making the extra pass, and that definitely is a credit to them having 10 assists right now. Your teammates are feeling it. You have double-digit assists in the first half. You got to keep that going.
Yeah, 10 assists for Howard as well. Florida A&M, here's a big one, 17 turnovers. That was a key. Could Howard turn over the Rattlers? After last year where Howard in that first round of the MEAC tournament, they had 29 turnovers, trying to kind of exact that revenge here today, and that good pressure paid off.
Definitely, especially in the full court, they're pressuring them, and in the half court. So if you're doing it on both sides of the ball, just getting those turnovers, and that's leading to transition buckets for Howard, they're in a pretty good place. And they also have 12 steals. That's very exceptional to have in the first half of a basketball game.
Already 3 above their conference leading average. Okay, we'll break and come back. 48-29, Howard on top on the Howard Bison Network.
One of the main reasons I did decide to join the registry is because the lack of African American representation on the registry. It's our responsibility to register. This is something that we can control. You can do this. Think about if it was your child. Think about if it was your sister. Don't let fear be the only reason that you don't save a life.
Howard basketball tickets on sale now. Go to www.bisontickets.com. RJ Cole and company for the men's. Ayanna Williams and company for the women's. Both these squads looking to make a push in the MEAC. Put a hashtag up for us, too. Hashtag our time, hashtag say less. and join the conversation. Looking at the upcoming schedule for the Bison, good competition here in Florida A&M. They go on the road to Maryland East Shore in their next game. And then you got Bethune-Cookman at home, Morgan State at home on the 12th and 14th of January. How valuable is it for the Bison to get off to this quick start in conference as a player? What does that do for your confidence?
It definitely boosts your confidence because you're feeling great about yourself as an individual, but also at the strength of your team, especially just starting off good. And you want to start how you're ultimately going to finish. If your goal is a championship, you got to start good and you got to continue to ride it out. They're going to go through the ups and downs, but if they continue to play hard, I'm pretty sure they'll pull out these next couple games, especially having only one road game in between being home for a 2-game homestand, January 12th and January 14th.
Always nice to get a couple wins early in the conference season. That's Takira Carter. I'm Ryan Pierce. We'll have one more break, then come back with the second half of action on the Howard Bison Network.
D-City Smokehouse is pleased to offer full catering services from the smallest gathering to the largest venue. D-City Smokehouse will cater the best barbecue meats along with handcrafted side dishes for your event. Our catering services include menu planning and specialized cooking to meet your event needs. Delivery and setup as requested. Contact our event manager at 202-733-1919.
Back here from Bird Gymnasium, Ryan Pierce, Takira Carter. Takira, what is your goals, or your keys, I guess, rather, in this second half for both teams? The goals, I guess, would work as well. First for Howard, is it just kind of the status quo, continue playing good defense and try to score?
Definitely pressure, but it has to be smart pressure. Show your hands, don't foul, make them continue to be rattled and turn the ball over. They're almost to their average. The Rattlers average 23 turnovers a game. They have 17 in this first half. So I'm pretty sure that will make them turn the ball over a couple times. And as for the Rattlers, continue to have Maya feeling good about herself. Like I said before, the team goes how she goes, and I'm pretty sure they'll start picking up their play if they see her making plays, feeling well, knocking down her shots.
Yeah, Maya Moya and Candace Williams got going a little bit in that second quarter, and it felt like the Rattlers were starting to get their feet in this one. They just never seemed quite right until the end of that second quarter. They went on a little bit of a run. They made it a 19-point game. Both these teams play with good pace, so I guess you never know going into this second half if the Rattlers can hang around and maybe get a couple buckets and see what happens.
Well, that's just going to have to be important to them. They're going to have to punch in the face first, and if they don't, you could see the quarter going the same way as that second did in the beginning. So they'll definitely have to come out with good pace and looking to punch Howard in the face first and make them call the first time out of the game.
Yeah, Howard outscored the Rattlers by 11 points in that second quarter. Howard this season has been a better first half team than a second half team. They're outscoring their opponents in the first half. They're getting outscored in the second half. So if you're Coach Grace, I think it'd be nice, even though you're up by 19, to come out and maybe at least win this second half. That'd be the bonus on top of the victory if you can pull that off.
Definitely, you never get too comfortable. That's one thing you don't want to do. If the Rattlers see you starting to back down, they're going to start to go harder. So they can't let up and take their foot off the gas at all.
Rattlers 2-10 had a very tough non-conference season. They're 0-6 in the road. They've lost to some good teams, so they've just finished a tough game against Tulane. They played Mercer a couple of weeks ago. And then the Bison, coming off a close game against North Carolina, they really played tough against the Tar Heels on the road. And they've carried that on, even though you lost to a big-name program. You lost on the road in the ACC. And that can sometimes, I think, spark a team, even if you lose heading into conference season.
Well, definitely you say, okay, I hung around with the ACC team. Now I can definitely do big things in my conference.
As we're getting set for this second half, both the men and women's team, a couple big home games coming up for the men. January 12th at 4, Battle of the Dorms. Hoping for a big crowd here at Bird Gymnasium. Howard starts the ball. Bounce pass underneath from Edmond. Last touch by the Rattlers. As Edmond looking down low to start. That's what Coach Grace was trying to tell her team to do in that second quarter. Not settle for the outside shot. That time a three is put up and off. Sar Fitzgerald-Greer getting the look. She's a stretch 4 coming off the bench. She started most of the year. And the shot is missed. But the putback is off from Ballou. She scored early, looking for her second bucket. Moye from Williams. Maya Moye, an early three. Just like that, down to a 16-point game. Howard at one point led in the 20s. Now Moye putting pressure on in the backcourt. Jump ball called. It's going to belong to the Rattlers.
Seems like the Rattlers have found some new life. Come and hit a three early in the third quarter, and now they have a turnover. Howard's going to have to stop that momentum.
Yeah, Maya Moye, the DC native, got off to a slow start. Just 2 points in that first quarter. Sat most of it with a foul. She's been hot since then, though. Moye draws contact with the body. Let's see if it's on the floor, though. As the official does say it's a shooting foul, so Moye gets the foul line where she's only 50% on the year. Moye 15 points now, 16 to lead all scores. 16 of her team's 33. She's got 4 quick ones here in the second half. You get kind of a sense that this point in the game is going to be the turning spot for both teams. If the Rattlers can get a couple buckets, get back in this, it could be tight. If Howard maybe hits a 3 or 2, they're going to try to run away with it.
Certainly. Coaches always say the third quarter is the most crucial because how is your team going to come out of having a break and sitting at halftime?
Moye. Rather, that one's Williams getting the triple. Moye's got 5. Williams has 3. The lead is down to 12. Those are the top 2 scores. Pressure being put on to Williams. Williams, nice feed. But Marsh couldn't quite pull it back in. And it's the Rattlers basketball. Momentum, 8-point run in the basketball.
And how about the confidence of Williams on that last one? She's only shooting 20% from 3 on the season. So you can imagine she's feeling good seeing that one go through the hoop.
Candace Williams, 7th in the conference in assists, 20 in points. She's got the basketball with Jayla Thornton on her. Quick pass to Ballou. A little bit long. And now Ayana Williams looking to push into the defense. It's knocked away. Well played by Williams, the graduate player out of Atlanta, Georgia. Graduate transfer from South Alabama. Williams to inbound. They're trying to establish down low Marsh. She pulls it back out. The freshman back to Williams. Williams looking for her third 3 and got it. Ayana Williams already over her season average. Has 3 threes. Team back by 15. Moye on the other end. It's missed and tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Rattlers.
That is a bold shot from Miss Ayana Williams on the other end. But hey, she threw it up with confidence, and that's all you can ask for that one to break the ice for Howard a little bit.
Yeah, Ayana Williams, scrappy defender, good passer, gets the rim, not really known for 3-point shooting. Shooting just 14% on the year entering this game. That's going to go up big time with 4 threes. As the layup is put in with the left hand for the Rattlers. Actually, the third 3 for Williams. Williams getting the bucket. And then drawing contact is Marsh. So Marsh to the free throw line. After the layup from Ballou. Royal whistled for the foul. Damani Royal, the junior, the biggest post threat. One of only a few returning players. As the free throw rims off. For the Rattlers, they have 11 newcomers on their roster. Their top 4 scorers are new. Have you ever played on a team where you had that many new players?
Actually, last year, yes, we had 5, not new players, but 5 freshmen. So that's about 2 new players per freshman.
Moya was open on the other end. Maybe call it cherry picking. Maybe call it a smart play. Either way, she gets the layup and then a foul. I believe that's number 2 on her. That's her third, so that's Moye's third foul. She picked up 2 early, and now her third. She'll sit with 19 points. That's a big blow. Now Rattlers only down by 11, but the player that got them back in it is on the bench.
That is a big loss for the Rattlers, but look for Candace Williams to step up in a situation where her partner is out of the game.
Bryant sets a pick. Thornton fakes the shot. Bryant, nice ball fake. Good little sidestep. Rebound almost stolen by Howard. Good little footwork there. A underratedly challenging shot from Amani Bryant, the junior from Berkeley. Here's Mitchell. Saw some heavy minutes in that first half. Mitchell trying to find her teammate on the baseline. Pass Baloo on the other end. Williams against Williams. Ayanna Williams has it knocked away, gets it back, and that's what she's known for, that aggressive play. Big bucket there for the Bison that stems the tide a little bit. This one's knocked away, and it will stay with the Rattlers. Been a fun game. If this is the type of play we're going to see in the MEAC, fans are in for a good season. Both these teams have played aggressive. They've been brave on their shots, and they've looked good, especially here in the second half for the Rattlers.
The pace has been something that I've particularly liked as well. It's a nice back-and-forth, fast-paced game for a women's basketball game in the MEAC.
The second foul. It was called on Amani Bryant. Inbounds pass up top. Nice feed down low from Dilworth. Layup's good over Bryant as it's put in by Royal. Back to an 11-point game. Edmond, just 7 points, trying to get going, fakes a pass, gets the bucket, and draws a contact. Sarah Edmond, preseason all-second team for the MAC, or for the MEAC rather, averaging 19 points at home. Led the way with 16 points against UNC. Now that's on Damani Royal. That's 3 for her. So you got 3 on Royal and 3 on Moye for the Rattlers, her 2 leading scorers. Edmond has missed too much from the foul line, 78%. It's nice when the player that gets to the free throw line a lot's a good free throw shooter.
Definitely, and you want to see her making those free throws, especially late into the stretch of the season. Games are going to come down to free throws when teams are coming after you trying to win.
Edmond gets them both. She has 9 points, 3 from Candace Williams from the left wing. Fearless is Williams. Lead is 10. Ayanna Williams driving Thornton, blocked down low. Scrum for the ball. It's going to stay here with the Bison. Completely different team for the Rattlers in the second half.
They came out pretty hot, and they're being fearless, as you said before. I think they let the nerves settle in, and they're like, we're going to come out here, and we're not going to get blown away by this Howard's defense, and now they're pretty settled in. But I credit Coach Ty Grace. She has not called a timeout for her team yet. She's letting them play, and that shows the type of confidence that she has in her team.
Yeah, that's a good point. Coach Ty Grace in her 4th year. Still a pretty young team. Not a senior on the roster. There's going to be some growing pains, a lot of juniors and sophomores leading the way. But if this Howard team, which looks like, the top scoring team, they have a good record, they could compete for the MEAC title, you're going to want to let your team grow a little bit. I agree. That's a good call from Coach Grace. Jump shot is long. Rebound pulled down by Mitchell as Anton missed it. From the left elbow, that is Dilworth with a bucket.
Those are the unacceptable plays that you can't let go. You're letting the little Mitchell, all of 5'2", get in there and get offensive rebounds. And those O-boards are translating to buckets for the Rattlers.
And it was Howard in that first half that was getting the offensive rebounds. If you look at the numbers, they out-rebounded FAMU in that first half, especially on the offensive end, and it's been close. That gap's been closed by the Rattlers here in the second half. Morgan Mitchell off the turnover. Rattlers only down by 8. Down by 19 at the break. They've outscored Howard by 11 points in 5 minutes. Best player, Maya Moya on the bench. Williams trying to take over. That one gets the friendly bounce. That's a 3.
Williams has really came alive. Look, she might have got away with a little travel on that first possession, but she made him pay with that 3.
A quick shot is short. Mitchell pushing. The Rattlers can make it a 1-possession game. Williams trying to do that. And it'll belong to the Bison.
Bison are lucky. Williams was wide open on that shot. They have to find her. She's feeling good right now.
The Rattlers feeling good. Down by only 5 after being down by 19 at the break. We'll take one with them. Media timeout when we come back. Bison trying to right the ship. Only up by 5. Howard Bison up 55-50. They're up by 19 at the break. Only up by 4, or they've been outscored by 14 in the second half. 4:38 left to go. Is the difference just the intensity from the Rattlers, or what is it?
I definitely think the intensity. They look like they want to go at the Bisons. In the first half, they looked like they were backing down a little bit, and now they're like, okay, we're warmed up and we're ready. But Ryan, I have a question for you most importantly.
Okay.
How long do you think Moye sits on the bench in this situation with them coming back?
It's a good question. She's got 3 fouls. They're playing well without her. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach gives her maybe a 2-minute spurt late in the third quarter, then puts her back on the bench to try to prevent getting that 4th foul. She picked up too early. She did a good job before that 3rd one. That's another point to make as Moye's on the bench with 3. And then Damani Royals on the bench, or rather, she's on the bench with 3 as well. Just checked out. As the official will reset the shot clock. A hot start for FAMU. 8 for 14 so far in this third quarter. Bison just 2 for 6. They're trying to push the ball down low. And a foul is called. Marsh will go to the free throw line. Chrislyn Marsh, the freshman. 0 for 2 from the foul line today. The lefty now 0 for 3. That is a part of the game I think is so valuable for Marsh because she is that post presence, which means she'll naturally get to the free throw line probably quite a bit.
Exactly, so she needs to focus while she's at the free throw line. She's giving away some points that Howard could easily have. I think a good game plan would be to get the ball to her down low because she's dominant on the inside and she has the height advantage. But if she's not knocking down her free throws, then you kind of have to pick your poison with that. Amani
Bryant, who played great off the bench in the first half, draws a foul, and she'll go to the free throw line. Bryant yet to score. She's got a couple rebounds. She gets the first free throw to go. Amani Bryant makes her presence felt in other ways, though. On a team that's a little bit undersized than Howard, 6'1", long-armed. She's played in most of the games this year. And she's the kind of player where if the opposing team is getting good looks, Bryant comes in and can be a good defensive stopper. That'll stay with the Bison, so they go 1 for 4 from the free throw line and the 2 combined trips, but keep the basketball.
I would like to see Jayla Thornton, I'm sorry about that, get another 3 off. She was feeling good in that first half, and now she's cooled off. I would try to find her and get her going a bit.
The steal and then the foul. This one is on Ayanna Williams. And Thornton's been quiet in this third. Edmond's been quiet in the third. As Coach Grayson Company really trying to establish that low post presence. Jayla Thornton had such a big first half. Scored 14 points. 56-50. Rattlers again trying to make it a single possession game with a three. They got 10 seconds to shoot. Nifty move to the rim from Mitchell. Pushing on the other end is Asia McCants. That's to Thornton. She points to the corner. That's where McCants goes. Ball to the post. Left-handed shot from the freshman and another foul. Marsh earns the whistle. Kirstland March just shooting 33% from the free throw line this year. She's got another couple here, the lefty. Freshman from Duncanville, Texas. She has started every game for the team this year. Now 0 for 5, though, from the free throw line.
I think it's a mind thing at this point. You miss a couple, and then you start getting it in your head. She needs to not worry about the ones that she missed and focus on this next shot.
Bison leaving some points at the free throw line. Marsh has one more coming. 3:36 left to go in the third quarter. She got that one. As the Bison back up by 7. They once led by 21 points. Their lead was 19 at the break. It's 7 with 3:25 left to go in this third quarter. Off the pick, driving Williams. With Maya Moye still on the bench, their leading scorer with 3 fouls. 10 seconds to shoot. Bounce cross. Baseline. 3-ball. Rebound. Put back block by Bryant. That's her second. See what the officials call. They're going to say it was last touch by Howard, but with only 1 second to shoot for the Rattlers. Let's see what they draw up here. Coach Gibson telling her team got just 1 second. Quick inbounds pass deflected. It'll be a shot clock violation. Maybe that's the defensive possession that gets Howard going a little bit.
Definitely. They'll be able to get into their half court and slow it down a bit.
Johnson. Marsh with it. Back to Johnson. Nice little step back. Couple of lefties out there for the Bison. The lefty, Marsh, tipped it out, and another offensive rebound. As the Bison slow the tempo, they like to play at that quick pace, but it's played into the hands of FAMU. That's another turnover. Thornton has it taken away by Balu. Quickly to the corner. Mitchell's got a look. Rebound Johnson. Rattlers have had their chances. After starting the quarter a blistering pace, shooting 8 for 14, they've cooled off a little bit. Johnson falls in her lap. May have been too open.
Howard has to capitalize on those open layups.
Williams was looking for her teammate. For a moment, it looked like she had a player open down by the rim. Instead, it's going to be Balu taking it to the hole. Offensive putback and a foul on Bryant as she hits the floor. Balu trips over her. And to the free throw line goes Dilworth.
At this point, Howard is getting a bit out-hustled. They're getting beat at their own game at this point. In the first half, they were out-hustling the Rattlers, and now you see that the tides have turned in this one. And Coach Gibson's 11th year as a head coach, she's probably been in this position before with her teams. So turning this around has been pretty good for the Rattlers in this second half.
Coach LaDawn Gibson, like Akira said, 11 years for her at FAMU. 88-76 over her career in MEAC play. She's 144 and 173 overall. This Rattlers team, even though they finished towards the bottom of the conference, they've made the conference semifinals 2 straight years. So they're a team that plays really well in big games. As that free throw is missed, both were missed. And now Johnson on the other end. Driving is Thornton trying to get going. Lost it out of bounds. Another turnover from the Bison.
Credit the Rattlers. Nice tight closeout on that one.
FAMU down by 7. 57-50. Again, drawing the foul. That one was Dilworth. Could have gone on either Danielle Griffin or Bryant. They're to give it to Griffin. Griffin, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, getting some time. Keziah Dilworth back to the free throw line. Not a major score. Rebounds well off the bench. Jakaya and Keziah. Keziah wears number 12. Jakaya number 21. Twins out of Temple, Texas. Both knocked down for Jakaya. So lead back to 5. A very uncomfortable 5 for the Bison. It was once over 20. They led by 19 at the half. As we approach the 1-minute mark, it's down to 5. Bison trying to find something on the offensive end. Almost another turnover. Feels like a lot of dribbling from Howard. First half, good passing, good ball movement. Now they're just over-dribbling, I feel like.
Exactly, too much dribbling. They need to work the ball around the perimeter, try to get it on the inside, play an inside-out game, and I think that will work in their favor, especially when they went from shooting the 3 so well to barely shooting any 3s at all in this third quarter.
Here's a deep 3 from Thornton. Rebound Mitchell. And FAMU has been in a man-to-man defense in the second half after playing zone in the first. I think that's played a bit of a difference as well, as the rebound is tapped out of bounds from Thornton. When you went between quarters and you're coming off a rough quarter, what's usually the message from coach when you know, at least on paper, you might be the favorite as a team?
You don't play down to their level. You keep up the pace. You keep up the scoring. Everything that you did, you have to do that times 2 in the third quarter, because teams can kind of settle when they see that they have that lead. And that is what Howard did. The Rattlers increased their level of play, and I think Howard kind of depreciated theirs. Howard really struggling from the field. Give Rattlers credit. Mitchell zipping up the floor. And she'll go back to the free throw line as she slaps the floor with her fists. A little smile on her face, walking to the foul line. A great game off the bench for Mitchell. Morgan Mitchell, the 5'2 sophomore, a major spark plug for this team. The Rattlers 2-10 on the year, playing really good basketball. LaDawn Gibson, head coach for the Rattlers, knows how to get her team up and going in conference play. And after a sluggish first half, they've looked great here in the third. Howard, a little bit off kilter, as a free throw is missed from Mitchell. She is now 4 for 7 from the foul line this year. Just 26 seconds left, so Howard can't hold for the final shot. FAMU has cut it to 4. Little full court press. Tariah Johnson into the front court. Bryant out to help her out. Johnson goes away from the pick with the right hand. 9 seconds left. Here comes the Rattlers. They can make it a one-possession game. 4 seconds to shoot. Candace Williams spins with the right hand. And after the third, 57-53, the Rattlers outscore the Bison by 15 in the third quarter to make it a close one. We'll break and come back with a fourth on the Howard Bison Network.
The Lady Bison are back in action on Saturday, January 12th versus the Southern Cookman University at 2 p.m. Join us as we welcome back our students as they move back in for spring semester.
One of the main reasons I did decide to join the registry is because the lack of African American representation on the registry. It's our responsibility to register. This is something that we can control. You can do this. Think about if it was your child. Think about if it was your sister. Don't let fear be the only reason that you don't save a life.
check out Howard University Athletics on social media. I know you have it, so check them out on Twitter at HU Bison Sports, Instagram the same HU Bison Sports, and use that hashtag Bleed Blue. Right now, Howard leading by 4. It feels like they're losing, though. They were up by 19 after the second quarter, and the Rattlers really took it to them in the third.
Rattlers came out with the energy that you thought Howard was going to come out with in that third quarter. When I was talking about punching in the face first, it seemed that the Rattlers were the ones to do so. And now it's going to have to be Howard's turn if they want to win this game. It's only 10 minutes left, and they have to get after it in this fourth. And
you asked me, when does Maya Moye come back on the floor? She's back out there now. She got the team going in the third, but the Rattlers really did a lot of that without Moya, their leading scorer, on the floor.
Yeah, they've had a lot of players step up off the bench, and you see Moye comes in the game already starting where she left off. But one thing that Howard should do is go at her. She has 3 fouls. She's probably not going to want to play very aggressive defense because she wants to stay on the floor and score.
Moye now 22 points, doubling her season average. She only had 2 after the first quarter. As the Rattlers really lit up the nets in that third quarter. Shot 38% from the field, and the Bison struggling only 2 field goals in quarter number 3. Bison shot nearly 45% in that first half. Inbounds pass goes off the fingertips of Thornton, and now the Rattlers can take the lead with a bucket here.
Those are the type of unforced errors that you cannot have in this fourth quarter if you're Howard. You already didn't play well in the third, and then throwing the ball away on an inbounds play, something that no coach wants to see.
If my count is right, the Rattlers only had 1 turnover in that third quarter. They had 17 at the break. That's how many Howard has now. They've almost even. Pass down low. Bucket is good. And a foul. The Rattlers have their first lead since they were up by a 4-3 score in that first quarter. Damani Royal also playing with 3 fouls. And right now, the Rattlers, they're just playing loose. And on the other end, you can tell the Bison a little bit tight.
The Bison are a little bit tight. It's time for Sarah Edmonds to step up in this game. Where is the leader when you need her? I think she needs a touch on this possession.
She inbounds the basketball to Ayanna Williams. Williams having a great game so far. As Mitchell guards her, Williams beats her, tries to get to the rim. It's blocked, but a foul. And it looks like Williams was clocked on that right wrist. And she earns a trip to the free throw line where she's about 77% on the year. That's Royal, and that is foul number 4 on one of the team's better scores, Damani Royal. Big free throw for Williams, trying to stem the tide a little bit. She can tie it with this one. Bison even it up. A couple free throws from Williams. FAMU. Rattlers down by 19 at the break, and a travel is called on Mitchell. That's only their second turnover in the second half.
What's most notable to me about this Rattlers comeback, they have 3 scorers in double digits right now on their team, while only 2 players on the season, which is Maya Monier and Candace Williams, who scored in double digits during the non-conference. So that's important that they have players such as Royal stepping up.
3 from the right wing is short. Rebound hauled down by the Rattlers. It's been 1 and done for the Bison in this second half. And now Moye, the team's leading scorer, the freshman. Top of the key, Williams. The graduate transfer. Feeding the paint. Cook. Pressured. Thornton wraps her up. It's a jump ball, Bison ball. This stretch so important for both teams as the pace for the Rattlers has slowed up a little bit. It seems like the Bison have regained their footing. At home, Rattlers looking for their first road win of the year. Both these teams trying to get off to a good conference start. Ayanna Williams, the runner. It hits the baseline.
Edmonds needs to exploit the mismatch with Maya Moy on her. She has 3 fouls on that last possession when Edmonds caught the ball at the free throw line. She needs to turn and rip and go and try to get her 4th foul so Moye can get out of the game.
All even 59 apiece. The Rattlers have outscored the Bison by 19 in the second half. Little underhand shovel. Put back is good. That's Shakira Cook. And backed up by 2 are the Rattlers. Underneath Thornton. Open look Bryant. Rebound Moye. She's looking to push. Williams is back. Moye past her. And a travel is called. Took one too many.
Yeah, she tried to go a little too fancy with that one right there. Good idea. I saw what she was trying to do. But, yeah, she has to keep her pivot foot down on that one.
She kind of stopped, then jumped, and then kept going, leading to the turnover. That's only the 3rd one, though, for the Rattlers in this second half. Down by 2. Now Williams will bring it up. What's the play here? Are you looking to get Thornton involved, or you're just thinking whoever gets the best shot we're going to go with?
Thornton just subbed out of the game right now. At this point, I'm going to try to pounce it down low and get Marsha easy bucket. Now, not necessarily get her to the foul line, but if she can get a good look at a layup, that would be essential for Howard right now.
Williams to inbound. She has Edmond. Thornton did just have a seat on the bench. Pass down low. Marsh, as you called it, missed the layup, gets the rebound. A little bit long, and there's the bucket. Put in by Fitzgerald Greer. And we're even at 61. That's a big bucket for the Bison. Fitzgerald Greer, more of an outside shooter, despite being 6'3". She's that stretch 4, but got the big putback to even the score. Star Fitzgerald Greer coming off the bench for the first time this season. Limited minutes, but evens this one. And now Williams, double teamed. Williams with 2 to shoot, stepped on the baseline. So a couple turnovers. Howard claps her hands, the defense coming alive. As Jakaya Dilworth will check in, so will Mitchell. Williams walking it up. 12 points for her. Down low, it's McCants. The guard can't finish. Pass deflected. Marsh, the freshman, and a foul is called. That's a big defensive play.
That is a big defensive play, but most importantly, she got Moye her 4th foul in this ball game. Now, Coach Gibson has to make the decision. Do I keep her in or do I take her out at this point?
So Moye picks up the foul. She's got 4. The most prominent post score for the Rattlers has 4 in Damani Royal. Jump shot from Edmonds goes. That's what they needed. Sarah Edmonds, who's been quiet today, had a little bit of space and knocked it down. So Edmond now in double figures with 11, averaging 16. Pass down low. It's altered. Weak side rebound, Howard. Now they can make it a 2-possession game. Up to Marsh. Her layup drops. And a quick 6-0 run for the Bison. They're on top by 4. That was a scoring outburst I think everybody was looking for. And now a little life in this crowd at Burr Gymnasium. Moye trying to draw contact. Holding still as a statue was Fitzgerald Green. On the other end, Williams. Rebound Marsh. Put back, yes. Lead up to 6. And now the momentum all on the Bison side. A timeout taken by Coach Gibson. Her team trailing 67-61, an 8-0 run from the Howard Bison. What's it been, Takira? Is it the defensive pressure that has picked up here?
Definitely the defensive pressure I've picked up. Between Edmonds and Williams, they are
D-City Smokehouse is pleased to offer full catering services from the smallest gathering to the largest venue. D-City Smokehouse will cater to the best barbecue meats, along with handcrafted side dishes for your event. Our catering services include menu planning and specialized cooking to meet your event needs. Delivery and setup as requested. Contact our event manager at 202-733-1919.
Howard Bison on an 8-0 run, up 67-61 with 5:02 left to go. We were talking about it during the commercial break. Takira, the Bison defense has picked up and has led to some points.
The Bison's defense has picked up, and they've been very disciplined of keeping Moye on one side of the floor. They're corralling her to the left, and she's going into the help when she's deciding to drive to the basket, so that's been a good thing for Howard.
That's Takira Carter. I'm Ryan Pierce. Thanks for tuning in. The Howard Bison, the opening game in the MEAC play, up 67-61. They're down by a couple points. They're leading by 19 at half, so this comeback from the Rattlers, they've shown a lot of guts, and I think that was a question for them entering the year. 11 new players, non-conference schedule. They really had two prominent scorers in Candace Williams and Maya Moye. They found some new weapons, I think, in this game against Howard.
Definitely, and if you're Coach LaDon Gibson, you're not mad at this loss by your team. If they do end up losing, now if they do pull it out, you're happy either way because of the fight that they have showed. And now she sees that she can throw different players in there when you have players like Moye in foul trouble.
The Rattlers projected to finish 10th in the conference. They're hanging in there against the team with the top record in the MEAC. Down 67-61, 4:45 left to go. We'll break media timeout and come back on the Howard Bison Network. Big possession here for the Rattlers. 67-61. They're down by 6. They fought back. They had the lead momentarily. 4:45 left to go. Howard's got the momentum. The Rattlers have the ball out underneath. What kind of play are you expecting probably at this particular moment in the game?
Definitely something going to the basket. You can never go wrong with that at this point in the game. And the Rattlers are a good free throw shooting team. They're shooting, well, in this game, they're shooting 78%. So get something for going to the basket if you're Howard.
Rattlers actually shooting a free throw. Yeah, I was thinking it was a foul on the floor. Rattlers get the first one as Keziah Dilworth makes the first free throw. That's one more coming. Both these teams almost even in terms of shooting percentage. Always a good indicator of how both teams are playing. Both around 37%. Williams lines up another three and got it. Ayanna Williams. That's three-ball number 4 for her. She's had quite the afternoon. 4 for 5 from deep. Has her team back up by 8. Driving is Mitchell at the foul line. Muscling into the defense. Trying to draw the foul and could not was Royal. Now Howard trying to go up by double figures. Another open look from the corner. That one doesn't drop for Williams. Now 4 for 6 from out there. On the other end, Anton, top of the key. 3 from Candace Williams was missed and tapped out of bounds. It will stay, or rather go to the Bison. Now Maya Moye checks in with exactly 4 minutes left to go. Bison, after getting down by 2, are now back up by 8 on a 10-2 run. Williams Edmond, step back jumper. Looked good, just didn't drop. Dilworth. Now Candace Williams. Moye on Williams. And he'll stay here with the Rattlers.
Help defense of Howard has been something that they can applaud themselves for in this second half. They are stopping Moye from getting easy shots by having her go into the trees with that help defense.
Now we'll see if FAMU goes to the bucket. Big play here, down by 8. You could use a score to stem the tide. Just 7 to shoot. Mitchell now realizes it. Works off the pick. DeMoye with 4. Top of the key. Dilworth drives. And they're going to say shot clock violation as the ball was knocked out of bounds. Again, the Bison. Big forced turnover. Up by 8. Williams, she's had quite the game. Double figure scoring. 4 threes. Crossing over the defender. Marsh had it, lost it, and a foul is called. The freshman gets picked up with the infraction. Foul on Chrislyn Marsh, her second foul, the freshman from Duncanville, Texas. 9 points, 6 rebounds for her. Williams has 20. Edmond has 11. We haven't seen Thornton in a couple of minutes. She's still on the bench. Coach Grace trying to ride the hot hands right now. Her team up by 8. Edmond on Moye. It's such a fun matchup. And Edmond gets whistled for the foul. I guess she got it with the body. That's a third foul on the Bison, so it'll be inbounded on the sideline by the Rattlers. Moye so tough to keep up with. Quick point guard from the D.C. area. Making a return after scoring 50 points last year in the DCIAA title game at high school when she played for Anacostia High School. Jump ball, it'll stay here with the Rattlers. Moya to throw in.
Howard needs to look for the ball potentially coming back to her. Moya's not throwing it anymore. I was going to say if she was throwing in the ball, she could have passed it in and then got it back on the baseline for a layup.
It'll be Williams to inbounds. Mitchell off the bench has played a really good game at the front of that line with Moya behind her. Almost a 5-second call. Ball gets to Moye. Got plenty of time, 25 seconds. She works quickly anyways. Acrobatic shot didn't go. And Marsh earns another rebound.
Foul starts to number 13. Monty Royal. That's her 5th personal foul.
Marsh to the free throw line. Royal has fouled out. That's 5 for her, so she leaves with 13 points, one of the team's leading rebounders. And the Rattlers will be without her for the rest of the game. 70-62. Marsh to the free throw line. And very active here in the second half. Earned MEAC Player of the Week earlier this year. Missed the first. Marsh, one more coming. Her team up by 8. At one point, the lead was in the 20s for Howard. They're trying to get off to a good start here in conference play. 7-6 on the year. Rattlers 2-10, but of course, it's a new slate when you get into the MEAC. Lead back to 9 for Howard. Hasn't been in double figures since the third quarter. Mitchell against Edmond. Moye. Edmond switches on her. Now Williams. Deep 3 ball. What a shot by Candace Williams. showing some serious range. Lead is back to 6. If Williams doesn't make that one, Rattlers are in big trouble. Pass to the corner to Edmond. It's knocked out of bounds. It's last touch by the Bison. So just like that, a little life for the Rattlers. Edmond going to put some pressure on Mitchell. 2 minutes left, 2-possession game. The Rattlers have led 3 times, each momentarily. Williams to the paint, and a travel. Big turnover, Bison basketball.
That is a big turnover for the Rattlers right now. Right now you might want to try to get into the fouling game. Howard is in the bonus, so they will be shooting. It wouldn't be a bad idea to foul Marsh because she hasn't been doing best from the free throw line right now, but we'll see if they try to play it straight up and get a steal or start playing the fouling game.
Marsh just 1 for 8 from the foul line. She'll inbound the basketball. That might be what Coach Grace is thinking. Get the ball into the hands of a solid shooter, and a timeout is taken. 71-65. Bison trying to close this one out. The Rattlers have been stingy. 1:48 left to go on the Howard Bison Network.
Here, we educate tomorrow's leaders today. The Howard Experience allows students to engage in self-exploration through sports, music, dance, and debate. A journey towards excellence in leadership for America and the global community. This is the Howard Experience.
Howard Bison trying to hold off the Rattlers from FAMU, leading 71-65, up by 6, 1:48 left to go. Ryan Pierce, Takira Carter here. Thanks for watching. We've enjoyed you coming along with us. It's been a fun one. Bison are up by over 20 points. They led by 19 at the half. They're up by 6 now, trying to close this one out. As Marsh broke out, ball goes to the guard, and now in the hands of the sharpshooter McCants. Open 3 ball is off as Fitzgerald Greer had the look. You might want to take some time, though. On the other end, the 3 is drained by Candace Williams. A very uncomfortable 3-point lead for the Bison. Almost turned over. Williams keeps it. This one's going to come down to the wire. Playing pressure basketball and forcing the turnover are the Rattlers. They can do that now, down by 3. You got to try to force a turnover, and they did.
The other end, you have a shot by Fitzgerald. They didn't need that early in the shot clock, and then a turnover, and now the Rattlers have a chance to tie this one.
Candace Williams averaging 10 points. She's got 18 and 4 threes. She wears number 3 as she works on Williams. Mitchell off the pick. 15 to shoot. Moye was looking for deep, crossed over. Ball back to Moye. Greer on her. Her 3 is off the mark. And the rebound is pulled down by Williams, or rather McCants. And now the hands of Williams. "18 seconds on the shot clock, 35 on the game, and a foul. It's called coming off the pick. Dilworth bumped into Williams. That is team foul number 6.
You can see Coach Gibson shaking her head right now. That wasn't the player that they wanted to foul at that point. I think they wanted to get the ball out of her hands and then force somebody else to go to the free throw line, especially with her having a good 20-point night.
Yeah, you didn't need to foul there either. I think as that shot is dropped in, the Rattlers were trying to force a missed shot, come back and maybe get a 3, and now it's a 4-possession game.
And you see Coach Ty is doing some offense-defense action. She's getting her bigger players in there to defend on the Rattlers.
And Kelsey Jacobs just checked in, the 5'2" sophomore guard, and then Amani Bryant, who's got a couple blocks, wearing number 14. Bison go for the steal. Williams with the right hand, it's altered. Rebound pulled down by Jacobs. Now Williams with it, and timeout is taken by Coach Grace. I think you're right. She was trying to quickly get in her free throw shooters. Her team up by 5, 25 seconds left, trying to salt this one away.
The new celebration rules are in place, and Pepsi is all for it. So what's big man Joe Staley doing? He's celebrating a touchdown. He didn't score. The sad truth is the odds of a guy like Joe scoring a real touchdown are the same as 0. But it's fun to dream, isn't it? Even if those dreams are delusional. Hey, there's no I in impossible, Joe. There is, there's 2. Shh.
Bison inbound from the near sideline, leading 73-68. 25 seconds left. Not over yet. We've seen these feisty Rattlers hang in there. If the Bison can get a couple free throws, so that might ice it.
It will definitely ice the game, and it'll also be key for Howard to go at Maya. She's still on the floor right now, and she obviously wants to be in the game to try to score. She doesn't want to foul, but you see they're playing keep away, so that opportunity might not even happen.
And finally, a foul is taken. Jasmine Balu makes a foul, and you're right there. Moya was just trying to play defense, didn't want to pick up that 5th. And Jalen Thornton will go to the free throw line. Thornton had such a huge first half. Quiet here in the second. Good free throw shooter, 87.5%. Missed it, though. Jinxed her.
The good old broadcasters jinx.
And one more coming here. This would make it a 6-point lead. Bison led over 20. They led by 19 at the half. They trailed twice here in the fourth quarter. Now lead by 6 with 15 seconds left. And a timeout taken by Coach LaDawn Gibson. So what are you thinking here? I mean, if you're down by 6, really the quick 2 is probably out of the question. It probably has to be a 3 at this point.
It has to be a 3 at this point in the game. And they just used their last timeout, so it's pretty much they have to play it smart. But what's important about women's basketball, they can advance the ball, so that quick 3 is easy to get off at this point. They're going to get the ball in Moye's hands or either Williams, because Williams has been shooting those 3s that are contested.
Both these teams showed a lot of positive signs. I mean, Howard, that first half was so perfect. They shoot 45%. They forced 17 turnovers, and they're closing the game out well. On the flip side, for Coach Gibson, she has to be happy with the fight from her Rattlers and the fact that they showed positive signs of growth in that second half.
If you're coach, you're not mad at this loss. As I said before, if they do end up losing this game, you go back and you watch film, see where you went wrong in the early going. And for them, it was the intangibles. It was not enough effort, I would say. I wouldn't think it was the skill aspect of the game.
The Rattlers, led by Candace Williams and early on Maya Moye, have really played well in this second half. Bison showing resilience, holding them off. This could be, and we mentioned it earlier, Howard trying to get revenge. They were knocked out by the Bison in the postseason, or rather the Rattlers in the postseason last year, as it will stay here with the Rattlers.
It's 14 seconds left on the clock. Even if I'm Coach Ty, I might even want to foul and not let them get off a 3. It won't hurt at this point.
Got to be careful not to foul while they're shooting. Here's Williams stepping back, heaving it up. She's had such a great afternoon. A tough one there, though. Bryant the rebound. And she stepped on the baseline, so that will keep the Rattlers in it. Still down by 6 with 6 seconds left. For the Bison, trying to keep up their best record in MEAC play. They were 7-6, just 6 seconds away from potentially going 8-6. And a foul is called. And this is going to be free throws here for the Rattlers, I believe. Nope, it's going to be underneath, because that's only 4 fouls. Bison trying to get off to a 1-0 start in conference play. Avenge their loss from last season in the first round of the MEAC tournament to the Rattlers. Rattlers in danger of dropping their 7th straight on the road, but they fought very well today. Positive signs for a team with 11 new players. They've been gelling throughout the year. In the second half, it showed, I think, what their potential is. Asia McCants, quick substitution. 5.7 seconds left. Rattlers need a quick 3 and then a foul. They're going to get the look from Balu. It rims off. Rebound pulled down by Johnson, and that will do it. The Howard Bison, it got tight, it got close. They hold off the Rattlers, move to 8-6, and win the conference opener. The Rattlers dropped to 2-11 and 0-1 in conference. That turned out to be a fun game. Howard early lead, and the Rattlers made it tough.
Definitely a fun game to watch if you were at home. You didn't know which direction the game was going to go in, but that third quarter was definitely the difference maker in making this one a fun game.
Howard's next home game will be January 12th, and we'll have it right here for you, same time, around at 2 p.m., same place, January 12th. Then home Monday, January 14th against Morgan State. Over these next couple games, as we go through the Howard, what do they take from this one, the positives, and then what they want to work on?
The positives that they'll take on this game is you have a player like Yana Williams who is coming alive at the right time. 22 points tonight. And also, they did well with block shots and their defensive effort. It got a little sloppy in the second half, but credit them. They had 7 block shots. You don't see too much of that in the women's game of basketball. So I'll take away that they rekindled their focus in the second and near the end of the second half.
Yeah, incredible first half for Howard. Shot 45%. Shot 45%. Got a little sloppy within that second half. They cleaned things up, and then they come away with a victory. Let's name our player of the game. There's probably a couple options here if you are Howard going from the winning team. For you, who do you think performed the best for the home Bison today?
I think Ayana Williams performed the best for the home Bisons. On top of her 22 points, she was also 2 for 2 from the free throw line. That's 100%. And she was also just very aggressive on the defensive end. And only 4 turnovers. You play a significant amount of minutes, only have 4 turnovers, 22 points. You're proud of her effort and her play.
That's a big last point. Akira Carter, I'm Ryan Pierce. Thanks to you for tuning in on this one. We'll be back on the 12th when Howard is home next. You've been watching Howard Basketball on the Howard Bison Network.